nation's capital where the XFL rolls on. It's week 5 and the drama continues to build. It's a perfect day to watch some football. The Battlehawks fans and the Defenders fans out in full force. And away we go from DC.
DC! DC! District in the house!
Another day to get better, baby. Come on, we gotta take advantage of it. We got to. We got to.
It's a great opportunity to go make a wood today. I'm excited because let us out the cage to go play. DC on me. 1, 2, 3. DC!
For the love of football.
Tamu on the key.
This honestly means a lot to me just to be able to continue playing the sport I love.
Touchdown!
This is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Cardell's not scared.
Opportunity to play professional ball.
He is not backing down.
These guys absolutely love the game of football. For some, it might be the last moments of their professional days, but others are here to shine, to be a name that you remember.
Inside the 5, and he's in!
Another big play.
Today, 2 teams going in opposite directions meet in the nation's capital. The Battlehawks, with their massive home field advantage, now have to keep momentum going on the road, where Cardell Jones and the Defenders have bowled quite well.
From the first whistle to the last whistle.
It's the XFL.
My goal is at the end of the year, holding up that championship trophy with my teammates and celebrate.
Because we all just love the game.
And here come the DC Defenders on their home turf. Boy, they're happy to be back. It's the XFL on FS1, the Battlehawks and the Defenders this afternoon. And here's what is at stake as we take a look to the East standings. St. Louis has been maybe the best team in the league, at least right behind Houston. They're 3-1. The Guardians have really caught fire now. You see, they're right in the mix. So for DC, this is a big game trying to keep pace with the frontrunners in the East Division. As we welcome you to the broadcast booth. That's right, good to see you on a Sunday afternoon. My partner, you know him, 3-time Pro Bowl tight end, Greg Olson, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And so let's start with St. Louis, Greg. They've been terrific. Only 1 loss on the year. That was a game we did to Houston. Probably should have won the game. A couple of turnovers doomed them there. But the bottom line is they have turned into an RPO offensive machine led by their quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu.
They have. St. Louis, they have a little bit of a different approach here in this XFL offensive world, and they don't shy away from it. They are a run-first team. They got 3 great backs, but as you said, it all starts with their quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu. They come at you from so many different directions. Here, just a simple zone read, RPO style play to Matt Jones, big chunk play. You know, they can, again, the next time he ends up pulling the ball to try to make the throw on the RPO, defender takes the play around. What am I going to do? I'm just going to put the ball down. I'm just going to go run and pick up a first down. And then the last layer, off that run game, here comes their RPO passing game. Pulls the ball out of the running back, hits the Mornay Pearsonell for a big touchdown last week. They're so versatile. They're so balanced, run and pass. And it all starts with this guy pulling the shots at quarterback. He's a special player.
Yeah, coming off his best game of the year. He was the offense last week, and that's why St. Louis is 3-1. Meanwhile, for the Defenders, they got off to a great start. They won their first 2 games at home. They did everything right. They got the turnovers. They converted them to points. You see 29 points a game. Last 2 games were on the road, and quite honestly, they stunk. It was the total opposite of what happened the first 2 games. So you got 2 at home, great. 2 on the road, not so great. Who are these Defenders, Greg Olson?
Well, I think that's what they're trying to figure out. I think Coach Pep Hamilton has to be a little alarmed. They came storming out of the gates. I remember we had them a few weeks back, and we're saying, is this the best team in the league? And then after the last 2 games, we say, they could be the worst team in the league. I think today, against a really good St. Louis team, they're going to find out, we're all going to find out, who are the DC Defenders, and I'm looking forward to seeing a matchup today for what should be a great game.
Back home, I know they feel good about that. At least their head coach does, Pep Hamilton, because he's now with the 3rd member of our team, as usual, Jenny Taft.
Kevin, thank you. DC started the season so strong. There have been some growing pains offensively last couple of weeks, but you're back home. So what do you need to see early?
Well,
back on track.
just stay in the moment, focus on winning each play, you know, and come out here and have a fun-filled day of football and play our brand of football.
No secret, St. Louis, they're going to run the football. They're doing it well. How do you disrupt them?
We got to stop the run. And we got to score early to put a little pressure on them so that they just can't commit to running the football.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Jenny, Coach, thank you very much. So the Battlehawks coming in with the favorite here. They're 4.5-point favorites, over under 38.5, and those odds provided by Fox Bet this afternoon. Just a perfect afternoon. Home team gets to decide whether to receive or kick. They receive, and here we go from DC. Holloman on the return. And up to the 30. And that's...
Let's stay positive. We got a whole second half to go.
6-6 at the half. Let's go down to Jenny Taft.
Well, Kevin, you know what Anthony just told me, and he did say this before the game. He said, I told you be ready. I'll never forget what Pep said. You told us you have one job, to disrupt the QB. You did that. How does the defense continue to build off that momentum?
At the end of the day, it's all about momentum, just like you stated. You just got to keep working as a group, stay together, stay composed, and go out and continue the job at hand.
How good does it feel to have a tie game going to the break, considering the way the last 2 weeks have gone for
Let me
you
tell you
guys?
something. Right now, the scoreboard is 0-0 to us. So as a defense, we're going to keep coming out there, giving the offense back the ball so they can have more opportunities to score. But other than that, I'm going to keep getting after that quarterback.
We'll be ready.
Thank you, Jenny.
We got the wink and everything, Jenny. I love it. That was awesome. Well, we had a lot going on in that first half, and the defense really reigning supreme for both teams. 6-6 your score at the break here from D.C. Defenders looking for a little momentum. St. Louis making an argument to be the best team in the XFL. We're tied at the break from our nation's capital. XFL on FS1 is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. 6-6 at the half, St. Louis and D.C. A lot of defense, a lot of running in this one. Back to that in just a moment. Highlights from yesterday in the XFL. Seattle had an early lead on Houston, 14-0. But of course, Houston, they always find a way to come back, don't they? P.J. Walker doing his thing as usual. Cam Phillips, 11-yard touchdown. A little controversy at the end, but they hold on for a 9-point win. They are unbeaten, 5-0. The Guardians are catching fire a little bit here. Luis Perez, second week starting, and he's got a couple of wins behind his belt here. 80-yarder to Colby Pearson. Made it 20-6 New York, and then a little D. How about this play? Nice play. Tip pass, Ryan Mueller. And then he picks it off himself and runs it in. And the Guardians right back in the race. 30-12, they win it. They're 3-2 with a couple wins in a row. So Perez, again, you know, the switch was made to him. He started the year as a number 3 quarterback, and now he's 2-0, played well. The defense for New York has been pretty good all year long. P.J. Walker, a couple of interceptions, but 3 more touchdowns, 351 yards. He's had an incredible year for the unbeaten Roughnecks. Here, it's a lot of defense in our first half from Washington, D.C. Teams getting set for the second half, and so are we. 6-6 score.
Got to tip your hats here to D.C. Pep Hamilton rallied his guys. But I'll tell you what, we've seen almost every team in this league for the last 5 weeks, KB. This St. Louis team now, they're for real. Don't let today, you know, take away from what a good team this is. Today was a tough day. Didn't play as well as they wanted to offensively. Their defense is going to keep them in every single game. They'll figure out this offense to Amu and Matt Jones. They'll be okay. This is a tough day for Jonathan Hayes and his staff, but they're still one of the contenders in this league to win the whole thing.
Well, what it is a three-way tie atop the Eastern Division, right? St. Louis, New York, and now D.C., all 3-2. And Tyree Jackson came in for Cardale Jones, who was benched. He probably hasn't played a full game since his days at Buffalo, obviously. You know he's got to be a little tired on a warm day, but boy, the spark that this team needed, and they got a great defensive effort. The special teams, obviously, too, with the block punt late. And there are the standings. Locked to the top of the East. 3 teams. Let's go down to the field with Jenny Taft.
Kevin, appreciate it. Now, Pep, we chatted before the game, and you talked about just getting back here, getting home, getting to business, but today was about your defense. Holding St. Louis to 6 points, 4 sacks. What can you say about the performance?
You know, we talked about this last week. We've won games together. We've lost games together. The key for us is just to stay together and find a way to win games. Outstanding performance by our defense. Our defensive staff did a great job of coming up with a plan to slow down a really good St. Louis offense. And it feels good to be back home in front of the 12-pack. You see the snake? And find the victory.
And for Tyree Jackson, just getting in there and being efficient, what went into the decision to go with Tyree over Cardale?
Well, Tyree offers a different dynamic, just his ability to run the football, and he made plays. He made plays when we had to have plays, you know, in critical situations. So we have 2 really good quarterbacks, and we're excited to see how we practice next week and see what we come up with.
It's crazy. We're halfway through the season. I know the 12-pack is excited. Where are you at in terms of this team?
Well, I think we're still searching for an identity. You know, there's no excuse for us to put our defense in a situation late in the game to where they have to make another critical stop for us to secure the game. You know, we got to do a better job of playing good situational football, and but it's our job to find ways to win games, and our guys did it today.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
They did that. They found ways to win because with a terrific defensive effort. And I think, you know, I like what Pep did. He's talking about both of his quarterbacks, and Jackson wasn't, you know, mind-blowingly good, but he made big plays at the right time for them.
He extended drives, converted third downs, made some guys miss in the open field. I mean, he made that one first down. We joked about being 6'8", but if he's 6'5", he doesn't get it, right? He made it by the tip of the ball. He was just good enough. But as you said, the story of this game was the defense. Louis Chaffee kind of settling the troops down, making some changes, identifying some things that hadn't gone well the last couple weeks, and they came out today and just stifled a really good St. Louis offense.
There you go. Pep Hamilton going right to the snake. And we take a look at Fox Bet the odds today. If you were a winner, you had DC. They covered the 4.5 and the under hitting. Just 21 total points, well under the 38.5. Those odds provided by Fox Bet today. A defensive effort in DC. Back at home with a 3-0. They obviously like playing in front of their home fans, and they get a much-needed win, and now there's a three-way tie atop the Eastern Division, 15-6. Defenders take down the Battlehawks. More from our nation's capital after this.
We asked college kids if they would get up early for a Burger King sandwich. AR to 234-234.
Back here in DC where the Defenders 3-0 at home. Amazing, right? 3 games at home. They've all played really, really well on the home 2 stinkers, but they are 3-2 tied for the division lead. And I'll tell you what, you look at this young quarterback who come out in, and Tyree Jackson, who didn't get the start, came in to give a little spark, and Greg, he did enough. He made plays like this and gained some yards when they really needed it.
He did. Like you said, he did just enough to extend drives, pick up critical first downs. We saw at the end of the game they were able to, they didn't get a lot of yards, but they were able to milk a lot of the clock, reduce the amount of possessions St. Louis had while they were down. You can't say enough about a young kid with not a lot of practice to come in, get his first action in for a win.
Jenny, why don't you tell us more about it?
Let's get to know Tyree as the fans behind me chanting his name. Look, you're a Michigan kid. You play at University of Buffalo. You know, just take me into today, your first XFL win, and just how it went for you.
Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank God. You know, without him, I wouldn't be here. And it was a great team win. The defense played unbelievable, special teams as well. And, you know, on offense, I felt like we scored when we needed to, so it was a good day.
You know, I remember reading about you and something you said at the Combine, that you're always going to play with a chip on your shoulder. What can we expect from you moving forward?
Same thing, just the same guy every day. Just go out there and work hard. And, you know, it's easy when you got a team like this and guys that push you every day. And, you know, when I was out there playing, Cardell did a great job of keeping me up and, you know, and encouraging me. So it's just a great team atmosphere here at DC.
We're halfway through the season, which is kind of crazy. Clearly the fans are happy with what they're seeing, but how would you equate where this team is at right now?
I think we're, you know, on the way up, but I think we also have a ways to go. Never going to be mad about a win, but, you know, we got to finish some drives and score some more touchdowns. But, you know, anytime you get a win on a Sunday, it's a great day.
Go enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin?
It is a great day for DC and their fans. Jenny, thanks, and that young man will enjoy today. I mean, again, coming out of Buffalo, Jenny talked, Michigan kid, gets time with the Bills in preseason and was one of their cuts later in the preseason, and now, after signing here, gets a real chance and gets his team a win, Greg Olson. And you know, I think, though, when you look at it, as much as he did a very nice job, when you have a defense that shuts down one of the best offenses in the league, and 2 4th-and-1 stops in the second half. That's pretty tough to top story-wise.
They were the story of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Louis Chaffee, we talked about him a lot during the broadcast. He made no bones about it. The last couple weeks were unacceptable. That was not the style of play they were trying to build here in D.C. And boy, did his guys answer. They were aggressive. They were downhill. They were very multiple. I think they gave Jordan Ta'amu a lot of different looks, both rushing the passer and different looks when it came to stopping their zone read, kind of downhill run game. I mean, they just put pressure on him all day. Very few times was he able to just hit his back foot and throw, or as he's accustomed to, hit his back foot, see a lane, and take off and run. Those lanes closed fast, and as you said, those big fourth quarter stops, none bigger there than at the end of the game when it was still a 9-point game. You can't say enough. Hats off to those guys. They played really well, and that's what they need to figure out carrying forward. How do we channel this home energy when we go on the road?
Yeah, I mean, we asked when we came on the air, who are they? What are they, right? I mean, we know they're good at home now because they've won every game at home and they've played a different brand of football at home. And on the road, as Greg said, now can they bring that on the road? As you see what's coming up for them with Dallas and Houston, that will not be easy. And then Tampa, I just think they'll, when you look at where the league is, you know, you're halfway home. Jenny says season's halfway over now. And I think the beauty of it is, you know, Houston's undefeated. So, of course, you're going to say, hey, they're the best team, right? But outside of that, I think there's a lot of parity, which I think is a good thing.
I think so, too. I think this back half of the season is going to be really exciting. See, can anybody distance themselves? As you said, Houston's kind of that top dog right now at 5-0. But then you got a lot of guys in that 3-2 mix, 3 of them in the East Division. You know, I think St. Louis is a lot better than they showed today. I think they're a team that is balanced. I don't think what we saw the last couple weeks was a mirage. I think that's really what they are. I think today they got off balance. They came across a really good team at home, and I think it was more things not going their way than it was they're not as good a team as we thought. I think they're going to compete as this season continues to progress.
DC wins it. Greg enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. Jenny Taft, Greg Olson, our entire XFL on Fox team. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Defenders defend their thing.